I'm so glad to be here. The steak and the scissors.
Steak and scissors? Oh, you mean the wizard CZ and never wrong Nick Bull.
You have never hunted something like this. Don't hunt what you can't kill, fella.
So it's that kind of wrestling podcast.
I want to be the guy throwing snakes at people.
Then you found the right place. The podcast by the fan, for the fan. The card subject to change on the Wrestling Society Network.
The surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, Mantar.
Here now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the Wizard CZ and never wrong Nick Bull.
Thank you, Dave Baker, for bringing us in. Hello, everybody, one and all, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan, of course, found on the Wrestling Society Network. Card Subject to Change on the Wrestling Society Network is powered, of course, our great sponsor, Low Pies Pizza. Like we said, we're on WSN. We're sponsored by Low Pies Pizza. We are Card Subject to Change, the podcast by the fan, for the fan. I am never wrong, Nick Bull. So happy you're here with us for episode 234 of the Card Subject to Change. We will have a guest we'll bring on here in just a moment, but I'd be remiss if I did not introduce to you first my tag team partner. We are one half of the CSTC choo-choo train that runs here, that keeps on going, taking over the world here one by one. He is my tag team partner, also a great friend in wrestling. He is the one, he is the only, he is the Wizard CZ. Wiz, how you doing, bud?
I'm feeling really good. It's been a good weekend so far. I'm excited. We've got another first-time guest on the show, so that always gets me excited.
Absolutely. Anytime we can get a guest in here and break up the monotony of you and I going back and forth is a great thing. And I love having first-time people here. So it's always a blast.
And this gentleman is a time traveler. So I'm glad he's taken time, no pun intended, out of his busy schedule to join us. Let's welcome in Mr. DeLorean Diggs. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. How you guys doing today?
Feeling good.
Despite the cold, I'm doing great. I can't complain, but it is winter here for us in the Midwest, and it's a harsh slap in the face on some days.
Is it super windy up where you guys are at?
Cold and windy, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll say wind's been hitting like crazy the past few days, so it's been something. I hate it.
Well, welcome to the show, DeLorean Diggs. We're happy to have you here on the Card Subject to Change podcast. Also, as a first-timer, got to ask you the question that we ask all other first-time guests. Why pro wrestling? What was it for you that got you hooked?
Well, that's a very loaded question. So with that one, the best way I can explain it is just to take it back to when I was a kid. So back in the day, around the time I was 2-3 years old, wrestling came into my life in the form of, AWA, because, in the Midwest here, because I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we got the AWA on the ESPN Classic channel at the time.
You're in Crusher country.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. So around that time, because what my grandpa got arrested, so what he always did was because around the time he owned a bar business. So what he did around the time when they showed AWA, he always VHS recorded it, the right way. And always had my dad, his brothers, and a few other relatives over, and they have a night watching just wrestling. Sometimes a little bit of NWA here and there too, but mostly AWA guys over here. So around that time, I remember watching, they showed Kurt Hennig and Nick Botwinkle for the AWA title. And as a kid, I loved Kurt Hennig. I don't know why. I just loved him. I mean, so around then, I was just enamored by that match. And I was just I want to do this when I grow up. Went up to the TV, pointed to Kurt Hennig. I was I want to be like that guy. Can't be that guy, but close to it. So,
right.
Yeah. So, which the fun fact about that was my granddad from my mom's side was in the same room watching everything here. So a little bit of time has passed, and he always brought it up. And he was just like, "Hey, you remember you said he was going to be a wrestler, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was just like, "Well, I got a nugget I want to drop on your head." So he was like, "So, your great auntie actually wrestled like in the early mid '60s," and I was just like, "Wait, like she act like." Because at that time, like, I mean, like women's wrestling, like it wasn't outlaw, but it was just like one of those, like you rarely see it outside if you see like Sherry or Moolah on TV. So around the family reunion, I met my great auntie Dina, and they told her, it's like, "Hey, your little nephew here wants to be a little wrestler, just like you was back in the day with like Sweet Georgia Brown and all that." And she was just so awe-inspired and fascinated by it. And honestly, hearing her stories got me even more like, yeah, this is definitely gonna be a thing. So that's why wrestling, to put it in the long story short term. But yeah, it was something. It was great as a kid.
So definitely sounds like you've wanted to do this pretty much your whole life. As you got older, you grew into adulthood. What was that crystallizing moment that finally got you into say, okay, I'm going to do this now?
So I will say around high school was that moment for me. So around the time, like I had like a few friends that like love wrestling like I did. Like you get your few friends that you go over each other's houses, whether you're watching WCW Thunder, or SmackDown or anything like that.
Apologize, man. There was some hidden gems on there.
There was some hidden gems, but like I'm guessing maybe I'm just going off of like the late 2000s. There was
right.
There was a lot of bad Thunder.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in that aspect.
Right. And then, well, I guess partially too, like I was so excited for the WCW Thunder game on my PlayStation. One of the worst games I've ever played. But
I remember that game all too well.
Oh man, but other than that, so one of my friends that I went to church with, he told me, because he was friends with someone that was a wrestler, and he was also in the backyard gang, because late 2000s backyard wrestling, that was where you want to be. So he was just like, "Hey, so like I know you want to be a wrestler and all that. Like, are you still trying to do that?" And it's me, like junior going to senior of high school. I was like, "Yes." Like, I mean, the ship is still on course. Like, I'm not steering nowhere different. So he was like, "Okay, I have a guy named Eric. His name, I'm dropping his government name. So his name was Eric Hobson." So he was just like, I call him Influence. He's my dude. He does this. So he was just like, "Here's his information. Talk to him." So information at that time was MySpace. If you know, you know. So I hit him up on MySpace, and I was like, "Hey man, like, my friend Terrence like told me that you do like wrestling stuff. Like, can I check you guys out and all that?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, brother. Yes, man. Sure, most definitely." So I went over his house at that time. Oh man, that wrestling ring, God bless it, because it was a starting ground. So they started with like if you believe it or not, it was like a 10 by 10. So it was very, very small. But honestly, like me seeing a wrestling ring in person that's like not like going to like a WWE show and all that, I was just enamored by it. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be it. I'm definitely gonna do it. So just sitting there talking to him about it, and honestly talking to him, because like he showed me around like stuff and like how they do stuff, and like he took me under his wing wrestling for like a few years too, with his experience. And he was just like, he was like, "I could tell you what I've been shown by credible people." He was like, "But like, don't take my word as gospel and all that stuff." But I took his word as gospel. This is one of my best friends. And it went from that to like us just like, because he's the reason how I found out about a lot more of the independents, because like outside of Ring of Honor, that was it. He told me, like, "Oh yeah, dude, there's like CZW, there's PWG." And then since then, because I'm just like, wait, there's more wrestling now. And since then, it was just like a can of worms that he just fed me. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is definitely like, if it wasn't for you, I would have not found like a lot of content to watch, but like a lot of things to get invested in to make it be like, this dream is more than sure happening. So definitely how it started, I was like, yeah, wrestling is life right now.
We're chatting here with DeLorean Diggs on the Card Subject to Change podcast, and it is powered by Lopez Pizza here on the Wrestling Society Network. We're happy to have you here. I'm going to go back and pick apart a few things that you said here.
Okay.
Ask a couple things. Was that Bockwinkel Henning match? Do you remember it from a particular show? Was it on a particular show that you remember? Or was it just a match on TV? I'm just because selfishly I want to go back and watch it, so that's why I asked.
I think it was a match on TV. I want to say because like I remember they did the interview stuff around it, and I think it was like after like Kurt won the belt. So I want to say it was like one of their like TV matches that they did.
Okay. That's cool.
That's why Nick does this show. He goes down rabbit holes with what the guests suggest. That's his whole purpose for being here.
Absolutely. I love hearing what people are watching and what they like to watch. So, no, I didn't know if that was from a particular event or not. So, and then what was it like asking, this relative that you had that you never knew wrestled about wrestling, and what was the one thing you maybe took away from her from that interaction?
I would say definitely one of the things that I took away from her was just basically, because I mean, I know you guys hear this a lot, but wrestling's a brotherhood.
Absolutely.
And she told me about that, and like she gave me like some like insight, basically like the business and stuff like that, because especially around that time too, the world was a lot different then than it is now. And it was definitely one of those too when fast forward and when she saw like a few clips of me actually doing it when I was pretty young, it was definitely one of those, she was like, I can give you like a few tips, like I can like gauge your experience and all that and like tell you like how it is. Granted, times are different because like back in the day, like because I know she wrestled all throughout like the southern area. So like Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, and all that. And she was just like, I mean, like I can give you like, and she told me stuff about like with traveling, stuff with like if you ever have to be in a hotel and stuff like that, like tricks on things to do, things not to do, things to go about when it comes to like when you show up at like a new place, things you can't do and stuff like that. So it was definitely one of those that it helped prepare me for a lot of things when I got into it, and make it seem like, okay, like I remember she's telling me this, so it's in the back of my head. So it's just like, I'm not clueless and like, I'm not like a noob or anything like the kids say, but like, it's something like I can for sure like know like, okay, I was informed on this. Okay, do this. Okay, check all the boxes. Those are good. Okay, we're set.
So talk about, you have all this knowledge. You grew up with wrestling being a major part of your life. What was it like for you stepping through the curtain that first time for your first match?
Oh, it was great. So to picture it down memory lane, because I remember the first match I've done like the back of my hand because oh God, I was young. So around the time I was wrestling against one of my buddies, they named his name because he was under a mask and all that. So basically his gimmick was, his name was Pedro Def Leppard Morales. And basically think of backyard like mask luchador cranked to like 20,000. So luchador mask, he had on a floaty, arm wings, long sleeve shirt, just nothing that you will not see on TV. So just ridiculous, but it was great. And honestly, because like I had like a lot of my high school friends show up not knowing what to expect. And the first person they see is just a guy with a mask and floaties. It's just like, oh, but they had a great time. Like they enjoyed themselves. So it was definitely one of those, like, I've never seen like because I have a twin brother. So like I never seen him like glee with excitement but he was super excited seeing me wrestle and beat up a guy in floaties. He was just like, "Yo, man, that was like that was awesome. That was sick, man." He's like, "I'm kind of glad you're doing this." He was like, "Don't tell our parents this, that like I'm super happy for you, and I truly hope that you do this because they might steer you another way, but like keep doing your thing." So that made me feel happy that night. It was the next show I did where my mom decided to come along, which was an interesting experience. So to fast forward it a little bit, I do because like with the 10x10 ring, it was also a low boy too, so it was super low to the ground. So we did this spot to where we're in the backyard. So where I go on the top rope, I get pushed off, I jump out to the floor, crumble, bam, hit the floor. So I made sure my mom sat in the front row because I'm just like, I'm gonna make sure I jump to her just to gauge it, just to see how it is. So guy pushed me off. I jump far, get right near her, crumble, boom. So note to self, never do that again. If I told myself that back in time, I wouldn't have did that. Because my mom got up, she's like, "You don't want his mom to get in the ring." And I had to do like one of those where like, because my auntie told me, if you need to tell people that you're okay without like keeping things under the wraps, just like, do one of these and make sure they see it. So right by her, I pulled her pants leg. She looked over. I did one of these. So she was just like, "Okay, Dina told you. All right." So avoided that one.
You had me at when you said they're threatening to come in the ring, had me thinking about Shelton Benjamin and his time his mama was in WWE.
Oh man, that was a time, man. That was because like I wasn't scared because like I've heard like especially her stories too. I heard like my auntie stories about like people getting in the ring and stuff like that. Like I've heard of that. But like I know my buddy ain't gonna do nothing, and it's just like, bro, this is his mom. So it's just like I gotta take whatever I gotta take. Like it's gonna happen. But it's my mom, and I'm worried about a lot of things. I was like, oh no. I don't ruin this for me, mom. But no, things but yeah, she saw that, she saw the thumbs up, things was good, and I was like, okay, I gotta focus, get back into the match and all that. So yeah, that was fun.
And what did mom think of it afterwards?
Oh, she was ecstatic. She was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like people beating up my baby because like you're my boy. Like you're my baby boy on top of that. But you're having fun in there, you're having a good time. She's like, you know what? She was just like, your dad might not pass off this on approval. She's like, but you might get a pass on approval on me. I gotta sleep on it though, because you had me worried a couple times during that match. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of did. We did chair shots too, which is probably not a smart thing too, but
Ooh. Hey,
yeah.
you did chair shots, and mom was still sold on it. So I think it's a win-win.
Oh yeah, like, and that was the thing I was worried about too. Just because, like, when I did it, I saw her get like she got more amped than I did, and I was just like, oh, okay, goosebumps. All right. And then when I took the chair shot, she was just like, "You better shake that off and get up." And I was like, "Oh yeah, she's hooked. She's hooked."
Oh, that's fantastic! I love that story. Oh my brain froze. That happens. Nick, help me out.
You said something earlier. We're talking with DeLorean Diggs here on the Card Subject to Change podcast on the Wrestling Society Network. Of course, we are powered by Low Pies Pizza. You said something earlier about Ring of Honor and how that was, and then after that, you experienced more indie wrestling. So Ring of Honor was kind of a gateway drug for you into the independent wrestling. My ears perked up when you said that because CZ and I are the same thing. Like that was our gateway into independent wrestling. What are some of what's your favorite wrestler or maybe your favorite match from Ring of Honor that you can remember?
So I would be I would be, oh man. Because honestly, so I would say it'll be between two matches. I would say it'll be between Punk, Joe. I like the third one, and I don't know why. I like the third one more than the first two that they did. And then Ladder War with the Briscoes and El Generico and Kevin Steen.
Yes. Yes, one of my favorite all time. And not just the match, but the aftermath of that match when the Age of the Fall formed.
Yeah.
I will never get the image of Jimmy Jacobs standing underneath Jay Briscoe and blood dripping on his white suit.
When I saw that, because like I told my buddy like the next day about it, I was just like, Eric, I was just like, yo, I was like, did you see like the Age of the Fall stuff? And he was just like, brother, have you seen CZW? And I was just like, wait, what? He was like, it's a lot more intense than that. And it was like one of those things which I loved him to death, because like every time I come back with something from Ring of Honor that I saw that was just mind-blowingly awesome, he's just like, oh yeah, go here. Because like when I had first saw Pac, I was just like, yo, like this dude is legit. And he was just like, PWG, man, El Generico, Pac, bro, one of my favorite matches of all time. Watch it. And I watched it, and I was just like, yo, this match rules. And it's one of those, like, for sure, those two, because, like, I can go down, like, a rabbit hole of, like, other matches from, like, I would say anywhere between, like, 06, like, 09 Ring of Honor. Because to me, like, I felt as though, like, nothing against TNA around that time, too. I felt as though they were a strong number 2 at that point in time. And, oh, man, like, from that, like, I mean, the whole El Generico, Kevin Steen feud, like, that fight without honor was just... But definitely, I would say it's between those two. It might, I will say, will that change by order by tomorrow? Who knows? But like, for sure, it's neck to neck with those two, just because like I feel as though when I saw Punk and Joe, that was one of the first matches I actually remember going an hour multiple times. Because like as a kid, like I remember Flair, Steamboat, like watching it now, I remember, oh yeah, it did go like over an hour. But sure. Like at that time, like it's just like I keep forgetting, like, oh yeah, Ric Flair was known to do like 80, 90 minutes like it was nothing. And then like at least at that, when my brain was absorbing a lot when I was watching Punk and Joe, the trilogy, I was just like, yo, like the first one I was like, okay, they're gonna run it back. Okay, no, not too bad. And then they do a second one. I'm just like, okay, this third one, is this literally going to go another hour? Because this is going to be nuts. And they went about like 30-ish minutes, but that 30 minutes was great. Like that 30 minutes was intense. That finish was gnarly too. Like yeah. I always loved Joe when he did the German suplex, went over Dragon suplex, then Tiger suplex, and then he just slapped the choke on him. I was like, oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Because I was just like, oh yeah, they ain't going to do a match for it. So
oh man, and those two are two of the best to do it in Ring of Honor, in my opinion. Those 3 matches are brilliant. I know Nick in more modern times looks at the Briscoes and FTR and their trilogy.
Oh yeah. That's another great one. That's another great. Like I will say that trilogy as well too it's right behind it, because like it especially like that the third one, it upped everything, where it's just like, yo, this is actually a lot better than the first two. And it's just like, it's definitely one of those where it took me back to old school Ring of Honor when I remembered. I was like, oh man, this might be there's like Ring of Honor might have restored my feeling again. So, you know, and oh man, yeah, that's a deep cut right there. Cause it's crazy, because Briscoe Jay died like 3 years ago, like a couple days ago.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. That seems just like yesterday. And you said
Man, it does.
3 years ago is nuts to me. But no, those are all great matches. That Punk Joe one, the third one's the shortest one. I think it goes like 34 minutes. But they were all so good. But yeah, you didn't list a bad match there, and I think everybody would agree. Like those are your upper echelon of Ring of Honor matches if you're going to mention them.
Excuse me. So I want to kind of transition. You not only are in the ring, but you're kind of behind the scenes with New Sound Wrestling. I want to talk about New Sound a little bit and learn the story behind how that started. And I've watched a few matches recently of you in the ring, and I just love the venue you guys are in. It's so if I were closer, I would be going to your shows regularly. I'm just saying, but 6 hours is a little bit of a drive for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a drive for sure. But I will say, definitely huge shout out to the Alliance. Like that, before we broke ground on it, because when we was looking at places for a venue, because like we didn't realize that like the Alliance, like they ran stuff. Because like, so going in there, I was just like, I had to feel it's like this can definitely be this is a venue that a lot of people will like, and a lot of people, whether they go there once and that's it, or they go there a few times, it's definitely one of those just like, because even then, like I've had like with people that we have wrestled down in New South, when they walk in before like everything, like the lights and all that comes together, they're just like, yo, this is actually a nice venue. And when the lights are on, it's like, yo, this is a phenomenal venue. So yeah, so definitely huge shout out to them. And the backstory with New Sound and how it worked. So how it came to be. So around the time, so with the South Dakota wrestling scene at the time, it was up and down. It was topsy-turvy. Because I know we had a few different regimes that came through. And it was one of those where like me, my wife, and a couple people was just like, let's actually like, I want wrestling to be here, have a home in South Dakota. Like not one of those like, oh, like people can count on like when WWE comes into town or when AEW comes to town. Because as you guys know, like independent wrestling is so much fun and so amazing to be around with the atmosphere and the environment. It's like the way I describe it, it's right in your face, but it's a great experience. So I know when it comes to that, like we were just like, let's like the foundation is there. Like there's wrestling fans all over, whether you're casual or whether you're hardcore. So it's just like, let's definitely like, let's build on something here. Let's invest in something here. And then that's where New Sound came about 2 years ago. And honestly, since then, it's definitely one of those things that jokingly, if I would have been a booker or a promoter, like, everybody do their, I would have did this match different. Oh, I would have called this match different, so on and so forth. Because, that's just a wrestling fan in all of us. But doing it experiencing it in person and doing everything around it, just because you want to leave the business in a good place where you want it. Like, and that's just basically my goal. Not only just with my wrestling career, but with New Sound as well, too. Just to leave things better than what they are. And I mean, definitely the overwhelming response we got the last 2 years has been incredible. And I'm excited for like year 3, year 5, and keep this train on going until the wheels fall off. And honestly, like New Sound Wrestling has been a great time. It's been a great experience. And a lot of things I picked up on too when it comes to like definitely like being on the on-hand side and not being a talent when it comes to operating a company. So it's definitely and I love it. Like seeing like when it comes to like doing, because like I also do like not only like with me and my wife, like we like I do like some of the edits of the visuals. I do some of the bookings and like some of the production stuff. And I've learned so much about production. It is fun. Like I'm just like a little kid in the candy store, just like, oh man, I can do this effect. Like, oh, okay, this is awesome. So this is how they do it on TV. All right, not bad. But yeah, New Sound Wrestling, man. And cheap plug, if you guys are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, check out New Sound Wrestling, man. You will enjoy yourself. Trust me.
So I want to build off of what you were saying there a little bit here. Having having your toes on the production side, does that change how you are in the ring, knowing what you know behind the scenes?
It influences it a little bit. And the reason why I said it, so I was trained by Nick Dinsmore, and one of the things he always taught me was like camera presence, because I mean he's from being on TV every week to training everyone that there is, from like Charlotte Flair, John Cena, Batista, like having on hands with those and knowing how, like, when it comes to like WWE TV, is just like, you got to know your position. You got to know your cameras. You got to know where camera B is at and where photographer A is at, so they can work off of each other. So, you know, like, hit this area, hit this area. So with the production, it makes me realize, okay, like, where the lighting is good at, put it on this setting, or when it comes to like cues and stuff like that, when to hit the cues. So, and it's definitely it's a mind-opening experience, to say the least, and it's in a good way, because it's one of those that, because when it comes to like some production stuff I'm familiar with, I was very little familiar with it. Like the only thing like I just knew is just like, okay, like when you're in a certain hold or you're in a certain position, just make sure where you're lined up at. You know, when you go to the venue, when you're wrestling, one of the things I always ask is like, is there hard cam and where's hard cam position? Just so I get an idea of like where the camera's at, like look around the venue and stuff like that, see how things is placed and go from there. And it's definitely one of those where like they can go hand in hand, being a wrestler and being basically like stuff in production, and it helps, like, it molds around a lot when it comes to like not only like where you want people to be at, but like and I feel bad because I just got done doing like some production stuff too before all this too, where like I critique a lot now when it comes to a lot of things. So it's like, oh, lighting could have been better on this one. Oh, Q could have been quicker on this one, or why this person was a position here and the camera is like way over here. So it's just like, it's definitely one of those, like, as I'm picking up the tools of the trade, it's like, I can see myself doing a lot more production stuff. Like if things were to happen and I have to step away.
It really gives you a different perspective and a different eye on everything that's going on in that ring and around the venue for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about New Sound. We've talked about the venue you're in. Is it a different feel when you're home than when you're on the road, when you're in that venue for New Sound?
Yes, and I only say that just because with the venue, like it's a super nice venue, and it's one of those that like I feel with the venue, I ain't gonna say it ups my game, but it brings like a new level of just like, okay, with it being homegrown, like I want a lot more eyes on this. Whereas in like, if I go somewhere else where it's just like, I want eyes on me, but it's just like, I want people more so invested in the brand that I bring when it comes to like me going on the road and stuff like that. So it's a different psychological thing. And I'll say it's more so home based, just because with the home, I know what it can bring, and sometimes coming from the outside, it has that unknown factor, which makes it which is a rush, because it's just like, all right, I'm going somewhere, like whether it's somewhere new or somewhere you've been for like a year, it's just like one of those like, okay, like now I get to tweak up a couple of things there, because you got a base there, but you want to grow it a little bit more. Whereas in the home base, there's a lot that you can grow into that you want to invest into, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I have I linked the YouTube page for New Sound on the description. So I recommend going and checking out some of the matches there. I focused on a couple of your matches, and I'll bring those up. You had a fantastic match with Jossie in the last few months.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Matt Cross, your match with Matt Cross. Those are the two big ones that I watched. So I'm anxious to see more of the product, and that's I love. That's why we love meeting new people and seeing new things, because it gives us a different perspective, and it broadens our repertoire for who, that's kind of how I scout people. Okay, this guy looks cool. I'm going to reach out to him,
Well, we've heard about DeLorean Diggs, the promoter, and DeLorean Diggs on the production side. Let's hear about DeLorean Diggs as the wrestler. Who do you model yourself after? Who are some of your inspirations that you try to intertwine, of course, besides being your own person?
I will say definitely from the charisma side, I try to model myself. I ain't gonna say as close to the Junkyard Dog, but like I want to be like that, more infectious like him. Just because Junkyard Dog, he had energy, and it was just like, man, like a blind man can see like everything that he does, and like, man, this man is awesome. So like I will say I try to model my charisma close to that, and I will say like my style in ring, it's the way I can say it is like it's like a waterfall. Like it goes down, and then like something like new current comes in with like a lot of new stuff. So like it's always evolving, it's always free flowing, it's always endless sometimes. So I will say that for sure when it comes to like the in ring, because like there was a point in time I'll say when I started, there was like 3 people I wanted to model myself in ring as: AJ Styles, CM Punk, and Dean Malenko. And
Yes!
I wish I was close to any of those 3.
Dude, I love Dean Malenko.
I wanted to be like I wanted my like wing awareness to be like Dean, because like Dean Malenko, Dean Malenko was such an underrated guy.
I agree, dude. I agree, dude.
Yes.
Like he was part of the reason why I loved watching Nitro, and I was more of a WWF guy. I loved like the WCW mid card, and he was one of those guys that was doing cruiserweight stuff, and the man 1,000 holds, the Texas Cloverleaf. He was just a stud in the ring and could go with anyone.
Man,
I love him, dude. I think we got a return customer visitor here, CZ, with DeLorean Diggs. Man, he brought up Dean Malenko.
but I'm just saying, like Dean, like, so I forgot which Nitro it was, or maybe it was Starrcade. I think it was Dean Malenko and Ultimo Drag. Wait, no. Oh, I'm forgetting the pay-per-view now. Now I gotta go look it up, because that's one of my favorite WCW Cruiserweight title matches.
Which match?
Was Dean and Ultimo.
Dean Malenko, Ultimo.
Yeah. Because no, it wasn't Starrcade. But anywho,
Starrcade
96. Got it. Sweet. All right. So yeah. So like, because I always wanted to have the wing awareness like Dean. I want to be athletically gifted like AJ Styles, because AJ to me AJ is he's my GOAT. Like, respectfully, as much as like a lot of people have their different opinions on who's the GOAT and all that, AJ to me, because like I could say I kind of still am a diehard TNA guy, and AJ was just like, he was just on another level. And even when he left TNA too. So like I always wanted to model like my in-ring style like him. And then with CM Punk, it was just having that gift of gab. And just that passion too. Now as I gotten older, it's just like I want to like grab those styles a little bit, but like make it my own, Because
Sure.
like at the end of the day, like I don't want to be like a second coming of any of those guys if I was close to. I just want to be like the original DeLorean Diggs,
Correct. Hey, you're a big AJ Styles fan. Book his retirement tour for us.
If the gods would let me have this, because I know there was a person that said he's too old to do this. But I just want AJ and Sean just once. It doesn't have to be like 10, 15 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of that. I will be okay with it. That's how I would have the retirement match end, with that dream match.
Okay.
That would be fantastic. And this coming from a Shawn Michaels guy, I would love to see that. That'd be off the wall.
Oh, it'd be, because it's just like, it's definitely one of those that you just know. It's just like you got two people you got two people who arguably has like you can point out like a bad thing that they did, but it's just like it's hard to point out like a bad match either one of them did. Especially, okay, so I got a question for you guys actually thinking about this. So, because I was posed this like a couple weeks ago and I'm still debating on it. Which part of Shawn Michaels was the best? The first half before he had the back injury, or when he came back from the back injury? Because I'm torn.
Oh, that's a tough question, man. That is so tough.
Cocaine Shawn Michaels was peak. So like 90.
It was because like I keep going because like there's a lot of classics that Shawn had like after back injury, but it's just like drugged up Shawn just like doing just off the wall stuff was top tier.
It was. I mean, it absolutely was. Like, the guy's a Hall of Famer regardless. And you look at his career, but those are the times that he had the company on his back and was putting match after match. Like, he did not have bad matches.
Mm-hmm.
Did not. That's my belief. That'd be my vote if you're asking me what part of Shawn Michaels is the best part of Shawn Michaels.
And oh man, that is such a tough question for me because I love both eras of Shawn. There are parts that I could pick out that would argue either way. I don't know if I could pick a favorite between that. I really don't.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult.
What's your favorite Shawn Michaels match? I put him on the spot.
Ooh, hold on, I missed that. What was that?
What's your favorite Shawn Michaels match?
Oh God. So, see, I don't want to say Taker Shawn because I feel as though that's going to be the one that everybody's going to go to because, yeah, like I will say a part of me loved Sean Kurt at Mania 21.
Okay.
Because that was a classic. I will also say I liked Razor Shawn, the second ladder match that they had, a lot better than the first one personally. But I would for sure. Oh God, man! But no, actually, if I'm leaning towards it now, I might have to go with Sean Kurt at Mania, not picking the default by choice, which would have been Taker Shawn at Mania.
See,
but then I'll mean to cut you off. But then again, though, because I just thought of Triple H Shawn at Rumble when they did that last man standing, because outside of the finish, but it was just so like, and maybe it's just like one of those I like Shawn every time he's just like, oh, I got one shot in the barrel, sweet chin music out of nowhere, bam, and I'm dead. That's it. And it's just like, and plus, maybe it's just because I liked how very viciously bloody that they was around that for that last man standing. But man, I just put myself in a wormhole now because I need to watch that match now. I'm gonna say Kurt Shawn from Mania 21 before anything else pops up. I'm just like, oh God, this is a banger. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. Final answer.
That's a great answer. For me, I focus. I love the story and the emotion from 24 between him and Flair. That the match was great, but the story around it and the emotions that they both brought out in the match. That's what draws me in. And of course, I have a sadistic guilty pleasure for Hogan and Michaels at SummerSlam, just because of Michaels' ridiculousness.
Yep.
I'm shocked, CZ, you didn't say Jericho Michaels from 19.
That's right up there too. That's really good.
Oh, so you gonna change my mind again? Oh man. No. Kurt, Sean, Mania 21. I'm keeping it that way.
I watched Kurt Sean, the rematch from Vengeance 05 the other night.
That's a good one too.
It's pretty good too. It's pretty good too.
Let's go the other side of that dream match for you. What's your favorite AJ Styles match?
For sure. Oh man. So I was a sucker for AJ Sting at Bound for Glory when they was doing like kind of like Sting like going off doing his own thing. I like that. But then again, I'll be remiss if I don't mention the triple threat. But then again, I do love Cena AJ from SummerSlam because I thought that match was great.
Yes.
But then again, Paris was better though. Man.
We to promote one of our other shows, we just reviewed Cena and AJ on our Wrestleback show last month.
Nice. Nice. But yeah, so for sure, I'll say this. I'll do a top 5 in no order. So I'll put the triple threat at Unbreakable because that match put everything that there is into these. Nothing more needs to be said.
Joe and Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
AJ Cena at SummerSlam. And plus, I will say this too. I liked how on point the match calling was, especially for JBL, because I thought that felt as I was like one of the best play-by-plays JBL has done. So it made me like the match a little bit more outside of like the fans of Brooklyn. And then AJ Sting at Bound for Glory. There's a lot of AJ Kurt matches. So I'm just going to say all the matches they wrestle because they have not had a bad match against each other. It's just like it's just like, man, they just like, all right, like what can't we do that we didn't do in this one? Well, we did almost everything. Great. Let's do something else and make it better. So I'll just say AJ and Kurt just to put it in there. And then 5th, I will go. See, this might be controversial, but I really like the Taker Styles little cinematic match. I thought that was neatly done.
Yes, I enjoyed that quite.
I
for
didn't.
The time,
oh, go ahead. Oh, you go ahead, CZ.
I was just gonna say for the time when there wasn't a crowd and you had to do stuff like that to kind of bring the audience in, that was fantastic. That was a masterpiece, in my opinion. Both cinematic matches, the Cena Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse from that year, both of those were fantastically put together.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like that they did it. They tried something different due to the circumstances that were going on in the world at the time. I like that we haven't revisited it though. Like few and far between, less is more for me when it comes to that. But they both were done very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, you have a unique perspective with your role at New Sound and being an in-ring performer. Who do you have your eye on that's coming up in the business right now? Who are some of the names you're looking at that are going to just break out real soon?
Man, so I will say this too. There's people that I feel as though that's in the business that they should be out there. Like they're good. 2 people I can say off the top of my head, Brandon Nitro and Alvin Falcone. Those 2 dudes are
Alvin Falcone. I hoped you would bring that name up.
Oh no. I was like the few matches I've had with Alvin was phenomenal, but like that boy is good. He's real good. Uriah Upton is definitely a good up-and-comer too. He's picking up things very, very well. I will say there's a guy I kind of don't like right now, but his name's Webster Prince, but he's okay, I guess. Like, I mean, I guess. But like, I mean, outside of that though, outside of those guys, I mean, like there, I can give you guys a list. Like Jamison McGregor is a great wrestler. Brixton Nash, like they're doing great things up in Omaha, especially him with Nino Hatchet as well too. Kit Sackett, I'm surprised he is not on TV because Buddy is a savant in the ring, if I say so myself. God, I can go on and on like people that I think that not only people I think that they're going to be big, but they should be bigger than they are, just because like that's how much I think the world of them, that they're really talented and really good. Like there's guys in North Dakota that we usually bring up here in Sioux Falls. Guys like Jack Ledger, Bobby Brendan, Nick Nelson. Phenomenal wrestlers, like great wrestlers. And honestly, like I would say like the Midwest overall, like people always talk about like East Coast and West Coast, like and like down south, like respectfully, of course, I get it, but there's a lot of great talent here in the Midwest. Like
they've got nothing on us here in the Midwest.
Oh God, they got nothing. Like heck, I was gonna say cheap plug too. I wrestled against one of the very best wrestlers I would consider in the Midwest, in Joey Avalon, and like that guy is super good, very underrated, very underrated. Like him, Sierra, Allie Quinn. They did Allie Quinn and Sierra did our first women's main event show that we had last week, and those girls killed it. But yeah, like I will say it's a long list. Like if I have to do like the Cody Rhodes thing and do the list, like I would definitely have like it'll be a long one for sure.
Sure.
Fair. That's fair.
What are you watching currently? Current product. What catches your eye?
So I will say I still have a weird fond attachment to NXT. I will say that.
He does belong here, dude. That's my favorite show.
Oh my God,
you
man!
found my replacement, Nick.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude. I'm just saying, like, and it's not because like Booker T's commentary is just like on another level. Like, it's not even that. Like, I actually like, and maybe just because like I kind of like, because like it has like NXT has a very very soft spot in my heart from when I was watching it on Hulu back in like way back in the day, before they put it on and then they did all the stuff that they did with it. But it's just like, man, from seeing like I'll tell you, like one of my favorite wrestlers I will put on my Mount Rushmore, I will fight about this to the day I die, it's Tyler Breeze. That man was great. And he will be on my Mount Rushmore, and I will fight people, and I will defend his honor for it. But yeah, like NXT, it's always been there for me, and I'm not talking about when they did the little game show stuff because nobody cares about that. No. But like that, right? Like that was what I watched religiously. Like I will watch Raw, SmackDown, and AEW and TNA. Yeah, I mean, I still do TNA too. Like, I don't do it like how I used to do it, just because it changed so much. But the show on Thursday was something. It's the best way I could put it. But I loved it. Weirdly enough, like I thought it was great. A lot of other people did think it was great, but like I just like weird things sometimes, guys. If you guys don't know this,
I thought it was fine. I watched it and I was entertained.
I've only watched.
Well, so like, and I think that like I try to stay away from like the like outside stuff till like after the show, and then like when I found out, it was like, well, a lot of things have happened because so a lot of things changed, and I was just like, oh, that kind of checks out on one of the things I thought was going to happen but didn't happen. And how one of the things fell flat to me, but it was good. Like I mean, it was a debut. Like it wasn't the. If I have to compare it, it's not like weekly, and I hope it won't be like weekly, like mid to late 2000, 2001 WCW. And I just say that because I hated the Millionaires Club versus like the originals or whatever that storyline was again, because like that what took me out of it.
Wow. Yeah. That was bad though. It was grasping for that. Like
they tried and they shouldn't have.
At the wall, and it was bad. I don't.
They threw grilled cheese on the wall, hoping it would stick. That's the best way I can explain it.
I love NXT. You know, every show's loaded from start to finish. There's always something going on. It's not necessarily the wrestling that's great because they do get good matches. A lot of the matches don't finish, but it's the junior high backstage theater that I love. Like, it's like watching a junior high play backstage, and you got to have that expectation with it. And when you look at it that way, the show rocks even more. That's how I view it, and it's why it's the one show I watch every week, no matter what.
Same. Like I can miss like Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite or Collision. NXT I have to watch.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree.
Well, DeLorean, looking at the clock here, I can't believe we've spent almost an hour talking. This went really fast, but we like being respectful of everyone's time. And to wrap things up, we like giving our guests a chance to plug where people can find them on the world of social media.
All right. So on the world of social media, I have on Facebook, it'll be DeLorean Time Traveler. At Time Traveler DeLorean. I forget how it's worded, but you'll see me. Twitter and Instagram and Trend. 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 D-Lo Diggs. I do a lot of stuff there. YouTube, I need to actually do more stuff on. That's not the new sound page. YouTube, D-Lo Diggs as well too. If anything as well too, guys, check out New Sound Wrestling, at New Sound Wrestler on Twitter, Facebook New Sound Wrestling, YouTube also New Sound Wrestling, and Instagram. We got, if people are in the area, March 28th, New Sound Wrestling presents Fly. We got that going on at the Beautiful Alliance. Shout outs to them. That's. Oh yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees. If you want to buy my T-shirts, at D-Lo Diggs as well too. When it comes to that, I will get more designs on there because I have been swamped. But yeah, those are the places you guys can check me out at.
And I highly recommend checking all of that out because I've enjoyed talking with you. I've enjoyed watching what I have from what you've put out on the world, and we would love to have you back at some point.
Absolutely.
We got to talk about more Dean Malenko. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Could you imagine Dean Malenko in NXT?
Oh, my God. That would be wild. That would be... Dude, I'm here for it, dude.
Let's make it... You're the time traveler. Make it happen.
Yeah, Dean Malenko. I want Dean Malenko, Ilya Dragovich, time traveler. Please make it happen.
I will pull some strings on that one because I have not been in that, especially for that one. Oh, I gotta talk to a couple people. I'll tell Doc to go somewhere real quick for like a few years, so we'll be all right.
Well, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. We loved hearing your stories, loved having you on, and can't wait to hear more stories from you down the road. So.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Nick, as we close things out on our end, a couple things to promote. I will talk first about WrestleBacks. That is coming up. We're finally getting it done this Tuesday. We've had technical difficulties and illnesses. Life happens.
Yep.
But we are looking at New Year's Revolution 2006, the Elimination Chamber match, and the cash-in following. I'm excited. Joe Winkle will join us in the studio Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. I am traveling to Cedar Rapids on Saturday, where I will be doing our first pre-show podcast with IMF Wrestling. We're calling it the Gorilla Position Road to Vengeance. That's the name of their event this Saturday at 6. I'll be joined by Zach Takis there. I'll also be joined by Zach Takis on Wrestling with Fitness. I'll plug that now. We're going to announce the guest today. We have Victor Payne coming on this month on Wednesday, January 28th. But more importantly, Nick, you and I next Sunday, we've been trying to get this young lady on. We had some issues over the summer last year. We're finally getting on Tori Fox from SCW Pro and Animosity, along with other places here in the Midwest. So excited to see her, to hear her story coming on next week, Nick.
Looking forward to it. We couldn't get on before, but it's kind of like it worked out for the better. So much has happened for her and her wrestling career since that. So we have a lot more to talk about. So looking forward to getting her on next week. It'll be on next week's episode of the Card Subject to Change. Of course, Card Subject to Change on the Wrestling Society Network, powered by Low Pies Pizza. We could not do it without them. We're so thankful for their support throughout the last few years. Love having them aboard. And, of course, love being over here on the Wrestling Society Network.
Amen to that. I couldn't have said it better. So that's going to put a wrap on this episode of Card Subject to Change, the podcast by the fan, for my tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong Nick Bull. I am the Wizard CZ, and we will see you next time right here on Card Subject to Change.